Hey up YouTube, we're out again. We are, well, I can't actually tell you exactly where we are. The fella who gave me this mark said please don't reveal its actual, full, true, like GPS coordinates location. So we shall just refer to this mark as Spurn Road. A lot of you might be saying, Russ, you're a hypocrite, blah blah blah, because I know you're still watching. I suggest you go back and actually watch the rant that you're referring back to. I don't say it's not alright to give away marks. I say don't lie about where you are. If you don't want to give it away, don't give it away, just say so. Anyway, not going to get into that. We're here, we're fishing on Spurn Road. I mean, it's not as if I can even give it away, because all there is behind me is some cliffs and some dunes, so I don't know where it's going to fish. It may fish crap. We're here to find out, aren't we? It's a new mark on the east coast. Spurn Point's that way, Kilncy's that way. We're here. I may have a fish on already. I'm on first cast. I've got a paternoster rig with a Seaglow 3.0 Mitsu Circle on, and that's out at range with a hair on it, and that's got squid and bluey on it. I've got a 3-up flapper literally in the surf. I think that's going to be where the action's at today. I'll show you the sea state after the intro. No setup time lapse. I'm already up and out fishing because I had these two with me. Rose is up behind the shelter somewhere. I was delayed start, so I just wanted to get out, get fishing, then I'd set the camera up. I may be a little bit croaky. I seem to have a bit of a summer cold, so yeah. I'm here with Jonathan of Little and Large Sea Fishing. He's on TikTok. And I'm here with Marcus from Pitch It and Cast, also on TikTok. There's some gentlemen off to my left.
I forgot I had your keys in here.
It's alright. It's alright. Sandy ass. I'll roll the intro. Otherwise, we're never going to get it done. I'll roll the intro and I'll speak to you after that. Sorry, I'm squinting as well. The sun's literally right behind the camera. So yeah, I think the action's going to be on the 3-up flapper. I think the sea state is a little bit rough for the rays, but I want you to tell me. I'll spin you round, I'll show you the sea state in a sec, and I want you to tell me in the comments what you would be targeting, whereabouts you'd be targeting, whether it be just at the back of the rollers, whether it be out towards the waves where the waves start to break, or whether you'd still be slinging one out at distance. I'd love to know. Always want to know your feedback. And the comments down below, don't forget, they do help new fishermen. This is a learning channel. I'm still relatively new. Jonathan's new. Marcus is new. The kids are with me. All hell's breaking loose. I've got a head cold, so I'm probably going to do a lot of waffling, a lot of rambling. I wish it were as simple as hay fever, but it's not. And I think my first ibuprofen that I took nearly 6 hours ago is starting to wear off, so I'm going to have something to eat and take another one. Well, yeah, like I said, I mean, I'll spin you around, show you the sea state. There's nothing really to give away where we are, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that lead's just popping, which is fine. It's in the surf. That is what it will do. But I lost a worm in the cast, so I'm not going to leave it out there that long. What I actually wanted was a 3-up clip down. Let's get it a little bit further. I've switched things up today. I've put the Pen Fathom 2 on the Grey Shadow. I've got 6-ounce leads on, and my first cast, I think I said in the last video, I cast out a 4-ounce on the Grey, or 5-ounce, sorry, on the Grey Shadow, and you just couldn't feel it. You just could not feel the lead at all. I mean, I know this rod. Once again, thank you ever so much, Glenn. It is a beautiful rod. I was dubious when the first couple of times I used it because I couldn't find out any information. And then when I went out fishing at Gin Wall with Marcus and his dad, sorry Matt, your name's completely leaving me now. They also have one, and they told me it's weight limits, so I'm now quite confident to even throw a 7 on it, because it's actually got quite a high weight limit. It's a very stiff rod. I know Glenn hardly used it, so it's probably not even close to being broken in, but it just absolutely skied. I recently relined the Fathom 2 with some fresh line, put loads, probably overfilled it a little bit, and it took it down 2 rings on the spindle, on the spool, with no effort at all, just on an overhead thump. The beach is a little bit crowded, the pull is a little bit strong, so I shan't be practicing my off the ground today, but I am going to take it easy. It's going to be a steady day's fishing. Yeah, I think we're going to have a look at that flapper. I'll turn you around, you can have a look at the sea. Like I say, I would love to know in the comments below the video where you'd be fishing and how you'd be fishing this tide, this sea state. There's loads of colour, so I'm glad I didn't bring any spinning gear, because I was tempted, based on the photographs from earlier in the week from the likes of Atwick. It was like the Mediterranean. Yeah, let me know in the comments below, how would you be fishing this? I've got a paternoster rig out at range, I've got a 3-up flapper with size 101 hooks on, just in the surf, as you can see it, probably somewhere between 50 and 80 yards out. So I'll spin you around, you can have a look while I reel this in. I'll see you in a sec. Okay guys, well, definitely wave noise. Doesn't seem to be very much going on, so I'll knock the camera off and I'll turn it on when and if we see something. Give me a minute. Looks a lot worse than it is. You wanting to hold it?
Yeah.
We're going to leave it in the bucket to recover a little bit. So show it to the camera.
Oh, it's bleeding.
Yes. It was hooked just out the side, so in fact what we're going to do is we're going to get this straight back as you see it's only there, but we're off the mark. It's not a blank. Happy days. You want to put it back?
Yeah.
Okay. Try and make it so that it goes nice into the water a little bit, that'll force fresh water down its throat so that it gets fresh air quickly. So we nearly returned a flounder and a trainer. We're going to have a look at the beach shoes when we get home now, are you?
Pardon?
Are you going to try and find your beach shoes next week?
Possibly.
Before next time, yeah? But as I was saying, little worm, you know, size 1 up. One of the things I like about George and the worm that he sells, so you can see what I'm doing, is when you buy worm, you're not buying, or when you buy lugworm, you're not buying just a bag full of monsters. A, you don't really get that many for your money. B, it gives you more options. Can't get the early now. Look, you've got that one, yeah, a little tiddly one, to that one. Yeah, to that one, this one, I'm going to save for a bigger hook rig. There we go. A little smaller one. Because now we're off the mark, I don't mind so much and I'll use a bigger hook rig. I might even get a flapper ready with 2 O's and use some of the bigger worms that are in here. You've got a real mixture of sizes. But I'm glad to be off the mark. A nice simple hooker rig. Hooker rig? Flapper rig. Hook on a flat fish. If you get a decent pair of forceps, you need some locking forceps ideally. Go up underneath the gill plate and stay against the gill plate, not the gills. So even so much as touch the gills, you're going to damage them, and that can be fatal. Come out through the mouth, grab the line with the forceps, pull the line back. That will force the hook to turn. Then what you can do is you go back in, so leaving the line sort of doubled over itself, go back in and you can grab the back of the hook, which is now facing towards your forceps. You can then push the hook out and it causes less trauma to the fish, and you're able to resend or return one that's slightly more deep. So obviously if it's gone right down into the belly, that's not going to help you. But if it's in the throat, if you can see the hook but it's too far down to grab, that technique works fine. There is a couple of videos out there on YouTube where they do it a lot better than I do it. I'm still learning the technique, but I've showed other people the technique, and I'm quite happy to say that when I've shown them it, they've said, that means that I can return a lot more flatfish now without hooks in. So a lot of people will just cut the hooks off, which is also one of the more humane things to do, but not ideal. If you can get the hook out, and in teaching people that technique, I think just last time I was out I showed it to 3 people and they all said they can now probably return more of the deep hooked flatfish, or return them without a hook in the throat. That to me is a bonus. Next time I'm out, if I've got a camera person, because the girls are too busy, but if I've got a camera person that can bring the camera over for me and hold it, I'll try and record it. I'll just quickly show you something actually. I've just noticed because we've got pretty bright sunshine. I have both these reels lined up with Invisisilk. I'm not sure if it's going to show up on camera. Invisislick, sorry, from Asso. See how that one's bright red and that one's dulled back a lot? Then we'll get both in the same shot for you. Yeah. That on the first one that I showed you on the 515, the blue reel, that Invisisilk is nearly, oh, well, it's a year old. So I must say a repeated thank you to Asso for sending me a restock of the Invisislick. I love it. I think it's a great line. So yeah, I didn't get that bite on camera, but we did see it. It was on the icon. It's back out, hopefully. There's more to show, but we've beaten the blank. New mark, and we've beaten the blank. Happy days. Let me just give you a clean off. Bit of syrup, bit of spray on you. Not a great deal has been going on in the time I've been, well, just fishing. I've changed up since getting the little flounder and being off the mark, I've taken the throat flapper off and I've put a pulley rig on with a 2.0 on it, and I'm just fishing that single worm at the moment. I've just had half a peeler out, it's been out about 20 minutes, so I'm just going to bring it in, and in honour of Shane, the Holderness Cod Father, because it's on a hair rig and because it's using a perfection loop, I'm going to put a whole squid on it. I'll also show you the rig once it's in. Let's make sure everything's in frame. Raise it up a little bit. Yeah, simple pattern off the rig. This is, like I said, this is one of the Seaglow Mitsu circle hooks. Giving them a trash? No, I'm not. I'm giving them a test. As you know, I love Sakuma hooks. I think they're great. But everybody said try Seaglow hooks, so I am. But yeah, there's not much left of that crab, so it's done its job. show you. It's on a perfection loop, so the hook is free to move inside of a loop of line. Then you've got the hair coming off with a split ring on the end, which I used to clip down into there. And this one is in homage of Shane. And what we're going to try this year is we're going to be trying, I'm going to be trying, and I think Shane's doing the same, the perfection loop up against, what is it I usually use, the Snell knot. And we'll see what happens. We just wait. I'm not doing it now because I'm waiting basically for more big fish to come in, and if I'd have got more time out on the rays I would have tested it then, but I haven't. The seas aren't right for rays today, so I'm not going to use a double rig like this because it's just not right. But it's okay. Is that half a squid or is that a whole squid? That's a whole squid. And I'm doing nothing to this squid. I'm just going to put it through its tail and I'm just going to whip it onto the hair. My latex. I didn't do anything with it. All I'm going to do is, once I've whipped it on, I'm going to whip it on now plenty, up and around the hook, up and around underneath, up and around underneath, whip it on, the head's on, everything's on, the guts are all in, full squid. And all I'm going to do to make sure it leaks some of that lovely squid juice, and also to make sure that if there are any air bubbles they don't cause too much of a flotation problem, take them off. Clip the split ring down into the roto clip, or I use a roto clip, whatever, you know, hook retention thing you like, and that's it. What I do is, there is, as you know, I like putting my springs on, so there is a spring up here on this rig and it just helps take the strain out of the hook length, but this is £70 either side because I tied it for rays. On the grey shadow. In fact, I'll turn you around and we'll see if we can get a gratuitous casting shot. You should see me in that. Nothing fancy, just a straight overhead thump because the beach is too busy for me to be practicing casting today. We'll bring in the pulley and we'll put a fresh worm on it. Well, judging from the state of the rig and the fact that it's stripped clean, I would say I've probably been fishing with no bait on this for quite some time. I would also suggest that the knocks that I did see were crabs. So we're going to have to send something a bit firmer, so I think we'll use a squid and mackerel wrap or something. Get that baited up as well. But we'll do that together as well. got just a simple pulley rig. Am I actually in frame? Yes. Simple pulley rig. On the pulley rig, what I've got is a 2/0 Sakuma Manta, followed by a 2/0 Sakuma Circle. And instead of wrapping the, doing the whole that business, I just put a piece of silicone tubing on. And if you're now sat there thinking, wow, that's a good idea, you should watch my rig making videos. No, let's not use the worm. Save the worms to the end. I got a couple of, in an open packet, a couple of the Holderness Baits squid and bluey wraps, so I'll use them up. I'm actually on a bit of a mission to use up the bait that's in my box, because I think the majority of it has been out, too many times now, and should really be used up. So yeah, a little bit of a mission to do that today. I'll stick a bit more elastic on that one. Not much, shouldn't need much. Out proud, you aren't going to hook into a fish. For these roto clips, Max just said if I had some failures to release, if they're gritty, if they're sandy, I'd dip them in a bucket of water or just work them 3 or 4 times before you put the hook into them. I tend to find that's 9 out of 10 times that solves any issues with them not releasing. I'll spin you around and we'll have another casting shot. Why not? Not that I do anything particularly spectacularly with my casting, but you know what? Move you back. One of the most common questions I get asked actually from new fishermen is what line should I use? Well, you do kind of have to use a line that fits your budget, but the contemplation is if you're using a cheaper line or even something off Temu or Wish.com, which is all Temu is just rebranded, chances are it's either a clone or a knockoff or something like that. You may get lucky, you may get something of quality, but if your line's cracking off with some regularity, if you're buying leads at £1.50 a throw, by the time you've lost 10 leads because you're cracking off, and if you're buying rigs, that makes it even more expensive. But if you're losing line and leads because it's breaking, or you're losing fish because it's breaking, that saving that you initially had by buying your spooler line for a tenner instead of 20 quid is gone. And I mean, I've seen some fishermen lose 10 leads. I've done it when it's been in a snaggy new area, but I've seen fishermen lose 10 leads in a session. That's 15 quid if you're paying for it. Either the squid is getting mugged by crabs, turn you around and we'll watch the rods for a little bit together, see if anything develops. If not, I'll turn you off. But long story short, when it comes to your terminal tackle, you have to think about what it's not what you're saving on the spooler line that's on the reel. It's what you're losing if you're losing a lot of rigs and weight because you've got cheap line. I've used ASSO. Georgia Anglers and Danglers recommended ASSO when I first started, which wasn't his biggest money maker. His biggest money maker was Sonetic line, which is perfectly good. But he recommended ASSO line. I've tried a couple of other brands. The other one I do like is Sakuma Night Crystal, and I'll probably go back over to that in winter for the cod. But it's coming for you, Charlotte. I do enjoy having the kids with me. Sorry. The Sakuma Night Crystal, great line, really bright. But not knowing where I'm going to fish in summer and trying to learn new marks, winter I tend to stay closer to home. I didn't know if I was going to hit some clear water marks, which every bit of camouflage you can get helps. But what I've done is I've put the Invisi-Silk on the multipliers, or Invisi-Sleek on the multipliers, and I've put the Ultra Cast on the fixed balls. The fixed balls now I tend to just use a snaggy marks where the snags are on the retrieve, like macro, like Immingham Wall, things like that, where you need to be focusing on getting the lead and weight over something. I'm not that familiar yet with multipliers to be able to do it all from muscle memory, so that's what I use the fixed balls. But on a beach, I've got to say, I'm loving the multipliers, and I do want to upgrade the Pen 5.5 to another fathom. That's all they say. I don't have any of that. We're on peanut butter butties today. Right, nothing's developed, so we're coming up to the top of the tide. I'll film a little bit more ambient so you can chill out with me and watch the rods for a little bit, but I'm trying to reduce down the overall length of the videos, so I'm trying to do a little bit less of that but still include it. So I'll see you in a bit. Or should I say, I'll talk to you in a bit. Let's put you with the sun behind you though. Well guys, what can I say? Nothing to report. It's been very quiet on the flood. I suspect we've been on the ebb for about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. I've switched back to a flapper rig or a thread clip down, but I'm not clipping it down, it's just being lobbed out. Nothing on that. And so far, I mean on the big rig, on the paternoster I've tried crab, squid, bluey, prawn, mackerel and hermit. Nothing's been touched. It's all been just dead. So, not a good experience for a new mark. However, conditions were okay. But I wouldn't mind betting it would fish a lot better after dark. But I always like to come check out new locations, new marks on a daytime tide where possible. Give me a sec. That's better. So now I know this location, I'll be back. It is only fishable on a limited window of tide height. Although I don't see why we couldn't, you know, anything under a 6 metre I would guess, depending on wind direction. Yeah. Next weekend I think we're going to go down, or I think I'm going to go down to Buck's Beck Bench, or the Bench, or the Pirate Ship, or Bonkers Bank. I think it knows many names. One of the things I wanted to mention is the bench actually got burnt down when I filmed there last weekend. Apparently about 24-48 hours later it was burnt down. It's absolutely disgusting for whomever did that, because there was a lot of memories there for a lot of people. I mean, there were people's ashes there, there were people's pets' ashes there, people were proposed to there. There was a lot of memories. There's a group on Facebook called the Buck's Beck Bench, and they've gone down for over the last week or two. It's now 2 weeks, and rebuilt it to an extent. So we'll go and have a look, we'll have a chat about what's happened to it, and we'll have a look at the new one. The tide should be about right. The tide time should be around about 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. So with any luck we'll be starting to see smooth hounds on that coastline. We will have to wait and see. It is early. We did get pups sort of this time last year down there, but I'd rather fish for bass. So I don't know. There is another mark on the Holderness coast that I want to check out. That's two. I want to check out the Rectory and Grimston. Yeah, it has. It's been a nice day. I think we're all going to be sunburned, even though it doesn't feel like it, because there's a cold wind, but the sun's been out all day so far. I think we're going to give it another couple of hours, and if something doesn't pick up, and the difference is now we're on the ebb, we've got wind with tide, and the wind has dropped off a little bit, so the sea has calmed a little. So I'm going to give it another couple of hours in the hope that something now comes in. The sea does look a little bit more like houndy, a little bit more, perhaps not flat enough for the rays yet. This is my understanding, and you'll have to correct me once again in the comments below. You'll have to correct me, but it's my understanding that you want really flat, calm seas for the rays. But the waves now pretty much are just building where it's coming up over the steps of the beach. I'm going to fish it out a little bit because I want to see as much of the beach as I can, but I don't want to be out too late. So we'll we'll wait and see. And I don't know where the plateau is, where it flattens off, and at what point we're fishing in next to no water. I'm kind of using the two fellas at the side of me as a bit of a gauge as to when that might happen. Was that a wave? I think that was a wave. That's unfortunate. For the moment, I've got, like I say, worm on the flapper rig, and I've got prawn out at distance, and I've not seen anything on either of them. Not seen a drop of movement on either of them. So I'll turn you off and I'll talk to you later. But we'll keep going. So I'm going to give it another couple of hours. That way these guys get home in time for at least a little bit of tea where it's not too late. And it's a school night for me. I'm back at work tomorrow. So I'll talk to you in a bit. But I will admit I am a little bit disappointed. Knowing how well this Mark can fish. But it is what it is. We've not blanked. It's a nice flounder. It went back. I've got another practice at the deep hook removal. Your other option there is if you're out targeting flatties, you can use fine wire hooks, which you're supposed to just be able to pull out, but I don't like it. I don't like it. But I never intentionally target the flatties. My flapper rigs are generally targeting bass, which the sea should have been good for today. Perhaps there wasn't quite enough movement in it to bring the bass in. But it's bait change time, so I'll speak to you in a bit. We're filming. Tell you what guys, never even saw the bite. Bass. Let's get it on up, let's get it measured, get it back. Right, you're going to stick me, aren't you? Calm down. There we go. Nice mouth hook bass. We'll just get a quick measurement on it. If you want to calm a bass, by the way, and a safe way to hold it, put your thumb in its mouth. Nice and calm. That's more like it. Oh. No, it's not going to be legal. 38 centimetres. I think they're a stunning fish. Let's get it back. I found it literally on a flood cast 15 yards out. Really? Alright. Literally on a fluffed cast that was maybe 20 yards out. Oh, made up with that, especially now they're here, gives me a reason to stay a bit longer. Flapper with size 1/0 hooks on it. Very nicely lit hooked. Problem is, I'm that low on worm now. little bit, yeah, which is good for the mark. Not so good for the rays, which is what I'm comfortable.
Yeah. Problem is, you always flash the wind out and get some, the stomach gets up. It's always, when you read somebody a day later or a day after, tag it all up, don't it?
Yeah, probably predicted to hook him out until Monday. Friday, Saturday, it's fish like mad for rays.
Yeah, I've been working all weekend trying to get up.
It's been a long session for one batch a month after.
Well, I'm sure I'll see the video when it's released.
You certainly shall, it'll be Wednesday.
Okay, then, no worries, take it easy.
Nice to see you, see you again. So why did you come desperate,
Yeah.
Right, let's see if we can find another bat. Officially, I think we're now officially at that time, we're now officially at last cast. So I'll put the power bank in and we'll keep filming. You can fish the session out with me. Move you around so that you can see the tips. Yeah, you can fish it out with me. About another 10-15 minutes or so and we'll call it a day. Tide or wave noise? Tide, definitely tide. Not a bite, that's just wave, that's just like noise. That noise you'll be able to hear, by the way, is Rosa. And that's what I have to live with all day, every day. And I wouldn't mind, but she's about 50 yards away. A lot of seaweed. Don't put it back in the sea.
Why?
Because it'll end up on my lines. Oh, that's a bite. That wasn't tide noise, that was a bite.
Celebration.
Just waiting for further indication. No, didn't develop. Might have done. Yeah, we might have another bite on. Tighten that back up again, 'cause it just lifted. Yep, there we go, that's a bite. Very choppy sea though. Another bass. Do you want to have a go at returning?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out
I'm down here. The young ones are always small ones.
Oh, it's the pain.
They're always the rowdy ones.
You're gonna need some kill Monday because it's back. You're gonna get yourself killed Monday back.
It won't be me that'll kill it. So we'll put it back.
I don't know how to learn that.
Do you want me to do it? Do you want to come with me and I'll show you on this one, and then if we get one more, I'm going to go to, because they are quite spiny. There we go, we saw that bite. Maybe 30 centimetres, we'll get a quick measure. 32 centimetres. That's number 2. 32 centimetres. We'll get it back. But that's what they do. They swim along. This is if this is what they're going to eat. They swim along and go whack to stun it with the blades, and then they come round again and take it again. Generally being eaten will do that. one more. I really want one for eating size. Oh yeah, there we go. Maybe. Clean towel something in the shelter. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it from me today. I've still got one rod out, but that's going to be it. He says, trying to get his rod off, reel off. It's not moving at all. Right, I'll have to have a play about with this. I'll shut the camera off, pack it down. If anything comes up last cast, I'll chuck a photo in. But tight lines, stay safe, and I'll see you later.